for chese ojana to eye lindo say ni Afia Schwarzenegger won beef ni mu se ye fro dum jafo kwa menye so betumi aba bedum no ja se ko anwa ko na fi anwa ye won hu fi nsem anwa aka je se bia keka won ban na watwe medi mu nsem nyina bebro na sa na watwe yanso Black Sherry releasing nyum sa akode releasing nyum na mu nsem edi echi nyansem ne de do so onim se de na me ye mamudan ama broni masanso aba enkomo ho on GhanaWeb TV na se wasu gusu ni weni da so awohwe we de ye nche kwa mma ye ntwa ye ho na ye koba nsem ne de oh my god it's a theater bank ma be sani nyina egu ho amamo me broni akwaba I who me sad no num say entertainment industry emujist latest trends beef be akoso news be wan shada antin ho asem and the ones are celebrities so making headlines omo ho asem ene de betu dwa ha tina na ochi de ensem bebre akoso men kan na da not num say kwem ha de ye violence akwa ye say peace de ye ya gbeni bidin ene de din keke na chese ye ba krom ha say ne say hu say uba udo any social media say violence because but TikTok then and say how kwa yes say honum dey asem kofo betwe camera si won so na won didi won ho antem kofo just say dey asem mo ya divert na tokwa bia pie wo ho eye lindo say TikToker eye Felicia say ne mame but say ne baba ko so friend is sexy journalist mame ya say na making na won say months bi atwem on Afia Schwarzenegger benyam menti me ho ase bi but say wo gu on ho ma sepoto na nsem media say wo tototo mane won ho a but Linda ba out be ka say ne mba ne na kasa sana ide bia amuka yele nim say yampa mutumi kwan la fe de ba ko peso otwe ni hu fia no so ne sofu bi ni nakasa ni kunu bi ni nakasa ba we de Linda se ne mma ene nakasa nti we jai mo no akoso se ne mma no kwa suspended no nti ne fe se on ye fia asem ni de akwati akoko ba nim se fia do se ye friend violence tina ukoka na je se won fa ne ho nche no ko obedidi wa tempoto poto je se wo ye hena MP president hena wo ye hena Afia de bema left and right na eye na wotwe ya wan sanso akaje gu won tokwa wonimu na we de ekoba se eye ye de video bi course em say Afia eja be Linda and Linda chief phone sinu so Afia mesrew for the sake of our children eye maya ye woni so de maye nko sa line na ye fa mu sometime ego ye ntwa so a na nka asem de na asem ko na eye Afia se hifa wo ye ntwa so na wo delay num ne san kwofo am ne wa kofi ahia na Donald Mesbel na obodo na say na oba na ebe kwa wo se ye ntwa so nti Afia de we ntwa so na aya Linda edin se betu dwa otwema eye Afia Schwarzenegger ne ba ya de pena no maami ense fata so okita nti se bia abofo hwe no otwema wo Afia wo no monsa utumi ba live be ebe eyobo nsam ta we bi uroli bi na wo hye na abofo yi gina ho no manti nyama bi ni suben bia wa dendin ense enfata obi a otumi hweba ze be yanka social welfare fo beje abofo yi nsem yode tu dwa na che ankoye Afia de ochirema video bi ono so ba unso no so be club back unso ote honum na ase ekitansa unso Afia de enche na wa bodua nti dua yi bi no ba bebo filiation wa ba Felicia say any ni nwa was friend sexy journalist mama Linda ne meyi na wa bon dua ochirema o say wo ba omu be film sebio na akopon ne ebo ni party we just hoping say rain but say me bo hono maya it can have an impact and they to mean chere but Linda chirema asem no wa kan to also no de oni Afia be chia nka so wo de also aye say pupese wo kam ho asem na afa hu debi is Linda so ne be chwe de achi tornado any mesbel of beef bio Linda so ne be chia nka na nsem ni mu nsem Linda aya wo na aya wo ne maame ne papa waka baby ne mei ni ade na che say sometimes ngofo asemo mo kan se mo pese mo beef mo ho a aka mo nya mpanyifo mo aka mo beef mo ho na mo ma na mo di won rerem no won se dance as but na unu se industry mu da ye pe beef intiama broni me di mani di echi se nsemi be echi so mo be seize fire so mo be koso akoso a se na eti bia me de mu nsem nyina e ba betudwa
sa wotumi chi Afia akuabin polo command 90 days se won kodam di a e wo sam Afia Schwarzenegger mo kofa pena free wonum social service for Afia Schwarzenegger ntimi ti obi ba
ayo say de Felicia say Lindo say sexy journalist ni Afia Schwarzenegger ansem ni koto nchen na watwi mu Pastor Love Kweku Hamon Obapa Christy ni former husband ni ex-husband say na ebetwem no odi nsem bia ba betujo twem also no Obapa Christy em say ni albums back maku 8 ono no ye hu adwuma but that time no wenya afa so bia profit bia ni so ono akasa obo ne bra nti ska wonya ya na say obeka so bia ni bo onwom no wonya hu ska didi mo say nya sa net o say nya no kware which is so big as asema sini who senya no kware o che mo so no see so no then times no offend eye bantama lover boy o say na den o say ne cars Porsche cars ya na no ride latest any time no na wa trouble ho say na say ayen kofo trouble won car lover boy into lover boy na ne be ye ni nickname what ya say na echiri so ko be ye ne obefa Nyankopon ne obefa Christ na say o share say nickname na be ye popular and no the fast say laugh into ni din ye pastor love na nye say ni nickname then times now ya then time say a lover boy no chima say na me so pen ankasa na say o jane na so ankasa o say no nye eyi na mafudi bia mse me apemu no then times pastor love chemo say onu ankasa o twene kai say na kofo boje ne so also no ne we ye furniture business ni ade wo bo ne branch nye say bia na say ya nti o say ono de no nya mre oni time no o ye lover boy ankasa na so no betu nyo say eh lover boy na ekochi obapa Christiana ba no dey mean to me infantry ba wonu say won aware say me be ye bedeja say won eja ni ade eye pastor love interview ye wo Mashasi TV show no so no twem so no de na yere no ja wo ja ni nyo de so bo no be bo no o say ye obapa Christiana ekose o mu divorce no no de obeka kan na o sanso ka to dwase o so no nyoma wa twa ma ne yere ni nyama bebe o ye nyina we nya ho fa so ntima mu ngira bebi nkase eye ne yiri nyom no boy na o de fa ho nya no o se de o so no o reason for some time as a ministry nyom no de abetu dwa o so sanso ye TikTok video bia na focus ye na obo high life we chi obada de lumba we chi o se enye onu de hu nothing wrong with it o se one wo trust anyum da de lumba fu nyina Yakopon na ma wo inspiration so no de obebo nyom na all right but o so no miripemu no o se na aya o ye say any time so say eye miripemu no onu ankasa obesa ase ministry no na okaka ho o de shirt wo so no onya broken heart say na muka say na say de bia say oba life ni ade TikTok videos mu say broken heart o say de bi da o so oba Pakwisi Georgia no say onu de o ye hard guy wonya broken heart mo mani jenyom ho jese mu tinyom na mu di twamo na ase na mu de mu videos ni ade na watwi de nyom for latest two bia betuja from two of our best musicians Sakode Labadi featuring Kim Promise and a Blacko nie Kweku Frempon or the new one be to your friend is Soldier na say no media akako say a clashe na akọ Twitter or chirema na wo a Blacko sack the betu just or babe releasing you muzuzu babe releasing you na was a conflict of interest and find because about Charlie omo no a big artist obi abet me releasing you at any time obi be overshadow obi sa conversation am we dey share dan ti asema fu chirema wo say Black Sheriff nyum Soldier na aba overshadow Sakode ni senior man ni senior colleague Labadi but sometimes that's a mokasa bebre they are different people like you get what I'm saying obi a won market yen na enjoy nyum na be se me bisa mo nyum ya baba to je yen certificate Black Sheriff there Soldier na ye moda na just say say it was like a big hit to say any previous ones binum chema Blacko he doesn't have any bad song nyum be to obi aso obo wa gu beat so krampa we say ye there na mafo chema we say akoye to say street gospel Soldier no tie ma say ni motivation na mafo keka me who saw trend what Twitter must say we there enyoma touch so no Black you are very fortunate because don't be able to hobby like it's very real in Ghana for the paying fee mu would be better but waka so we there there but obi a enjoy Ghana for support pan the main candidate e Black Sheriff no ma aba beto do new one see obomodi na we streamy be na just say it be a try na see no co fine no co pressure no co chief of Igbo community of Ghana just say Empress guilty na just say Igbo community Nigeria former tribe Igbo no mu community be Ghana ha na say the one abonidin so baba ye won chief na ni this say that no so chief Igoma Empress gifty and ye one or the mufwa na ni event ya say what born sa woman sa title na just say dressing won so she emerald green type Nigeria for one dressing bi na sa won coral beaty biku no kon ho biku ne hase ni ana ni ho ye fa nkasa na just won say Empress there no co pressure just say dressing all the toes one nkasa makeup on point ni just say everything was on point na no so obere mo do ne yere ene Mr. Hopes na doye one onu su jana yere nche na tese support wo frɛ won koje certificate ni kunu na ejina ho na tese onu su chema mama ne re blessing so onko ye chief of Igbo community no mo Ghana ha se na tese event ni de tese wu nse na sese idi asaw ni ade Ghana be cover na tese odi tu just also no de why you ready pan say title no mode ato no so no so be bomode na tese ni contribution be obaye ma community no so one for one to my pay from obaye they say they all share Empress gift here Empress gift keke or ye chief of Igbo community Ghana
day like this, historic day like this for the Igbo community in Ghana, to bestow an honor on me as Chief Igoma Empress upon Adoye. Chief Igoma means beautiful eagle.
Prophet Kumchacha wakasa ayo chiremo se men's gold for mo amuska kodimalo kebeye mfin hene te se mo atwe na mo na twe atwe se onfa muska ma mo abanje muska ma se mo de mo nka ma komanto mo yem so se 2024 ne party KPP ne se mo bomode ana mo to aba ma ne se kren na obetine kunya no so se Ghana mampehi muske biaka one city important ko beje ni nyine fi na mo ama nti te se we de mo nsempa nti mo bomode ase mo beto ama no se mo nto ma no ene de gina mo so mo be se mo nya muska ne dia no akaka hu se o so no de so be di president anam one o se se case ne de e hu hia bo se e ba ko di asem na e be ka se we di for ana se we di o se straight life imprisonment say na judge nya ka say we default say nkofo sika ne koke mu ni ade na te say ni nya me bi oye na ankoye ma sa ansem ne bad ne odo wakotumu life imprisonment be ka say ase kumtata wo ya kasa too much wa onim say eyi mampenye konye sebio uri nya ye de faith bo ho ka ho ye den kura uri nya te say en ha ho kura nkose wuska na mo amokasa asem no kumtata say nkopom be tua moka eni do no okanya me na meka another someone be the main journalist na UTV mu ko share ho na chese oka so kumchacha o se kwa foreign 2 months men ha ho no so no se wo nyankopon be tua chese oni ne ba be ku no de ne sa be wo de ni chese so obe pai ne so nsema waka no se no so far wo se peace na chese munyina that they shall all maybe one e fine ne ko see mu ma peace in reigning no so de ko pai obi eni so cause wa che na adwin chese oy president wuri nya na se be ne me nkebi se na waka so wa obeye nyankopon je sa so de dua bi atomo so ne ade ntimi de me nkebi but me bisa mo 2024 se ne yekona mo se mo pe change na fine ne ko see se mo nantew ko dine wi abrani so koto aba mo beto ma eye kumchacha na
obi bia ni sika wonam wan ho bia se KPP ba na prophet kumchacha me beji 2 minutes 2024 Mati ubia sikama no.
Finally, I can Elizabeth ne ni tese yan ye tese wan pene krabre kra. Nti ye dan na samwa pa na nka ope sanka. Ye je yi ni bre tu fo na nka tezeja. Odi ama mre hyehye so na tese oye yi ni mamuka makama na nya nkoba ne sa. Nti tese dan na am se wura ho kakra but dan na asem de nu se de na asem ne de beton chen but eyi asem na mabeka. Na eye Queen Elizabeth the second eyi omuye ewo eye UK de. Young Ghana mamping another danko kufuado no ka a selected few president at say a man paying for we invite on no coordinate year in a koi and Madame Rebecca kufuado now say who so no do your pestal on yet to say be one word dress over dress or dress according to the age and then say the body fine now Ghanaian designer be friendly as I don't know designing a na atari man that is a formal accessory no so share a some turban fine to morning club I won't say none who ye fan kasa that is original new queen chair na walk up banana say obiodo kunu ade say won so representing kama na Queen Elizabeth wo ye name nsenkofo mani pictures trending ade wo pay tribute to her na ade na oni ba ko pay tribute to the queen eye wiala anum tuni wiala no posti queen no kaso we dey rest in peace no sounds they sending the condolence and my royal family no na man for say wo slave master nkofu ya wo bedi Ghana so gold close end time see na say we wu akama ni wu nkwa na ka wo dey ba ka so na rest in peace hena na won se bidi mo per violence so say rest in peace na you bidi na say then peace bang na say okekeke gu ho na say amafotututu bi ma wiala na won say wiala dia oh my lord obe respond na ba ko bi share obi comment ka say slave master na fa na wiala so no dey bi she doesn't live in the past. Or no dey so far as o tia se ombu Queen Elizabeth or any slave master and no dey mu yini fi hu mu na mu bu no so ye slave master na say whatever mu fa ne sa no dey hu ni sa na me pese me bisa ada na ye bi no ha ye mu pese celebrities mo pressure sa obi a post bi well and kwa post ya mu say ye slave master na ada no glorify or no is a choice mo pressure sa mu nya sa de na enfata mo sister ahine pankasa o ahine pankasa there's say good bees don't rattle you get what I'm saying Emilia Brobe onu say eba industry mu herself ba so no tuntum kama won shada antini controversy bia dey she just living her life no man na wa mayen fa me ko ba ko kakra na just was spicy enyum kakra Emilia more pressure. Just my impression back to back. Now what you who say picture be about 2 months. Now follow Emilia Brobe on Instagram. Sometimes they be na say fear be one 90 nim kakra say interior BFA, but Becca say hoy any but you know the place is very nice. Now video about 2 months confirm say baby I am who na you try flash kakra my nifi. Not to say, okay, say, Emilia, say, ne, show sad, just say, theater bank situation. But now, I say, find 2 minutes there. Why, I know my when and bet your iPhone, hey, I think, command us, sape pepe. Now, we don't need 2 journals, some of say, Emilia, say, now, what taste, and just say, few honum was per K, and your message, honum, not to say, oh, it was so nice. But Mafuche Mounts, been one man, Yakasa, Befelice be Emilia Bobroniska. But what should then we could see what pani and moo interior ne munya mani aneze video ne twa ya twa kosi ni washroom na jacuzzi bi esi na say mama pressure here na twa video here na leaky anase mu say ye million ankasa no de beto abontin to prove a point. Amake abebrese I Ghana ni sini train osanso a movie producer de abetu dwase oso no mama ne be yes 5 years obe win Oscar ama Ghana ai just say ochema. She's been working hard. I don't know, so do we need to film say Ghana say movies are producing modern boy bo. Erin Cheyeng say be amphibia day nim kakre. Oscar yen so baby ni bi na say ye break sa a record no go say Ghana had dey obi anu aweje e Oscar awards ni be but also no de obebo modern anu aweje bia ba na me ode be tuja mu say manfo anye ni to me focus o ye fa nkoje ode mu gina ho say the currently ye nyum to for bo ho ban wo bo ho modern no an be say nche bia na say Grammy ye eje na movies so je Oscar na je say ye koenim nti amake abebrese mo de mo ma ne 5 years enche kro be ye sentreni bi ama Ghana fo ai me de mejedi pa je say anye de to me fo ne me de merintie mu asem amake abebrese mo je say me ye ma mo movim kwana koje Oscar no man nti we de amake abebrese rekwa koje Oscar ne mama ye koje ye break account mo me ye twa ye kakra ye kwa bansem ne de be break kwa ndada. Merafopa akwaba na say nseme edu so de say good news. I Ghana ni sini training mauliga for so wa be ware wa drop pre-wedding photos into girls na muze fresh boy na mo feel this opportunity da hono de afa mo kon ho so be ware sister be onye Ghana ni ye friend Remia I know say oba akoko fine yes no ho ye fan kasa na one pre-wedding I say what she white be na wogina I say do bi anim na to say what sir na say obe kisika kra na hey mo flaunty relationship money yefe but when say maulidi he had kept his relationship private na he said that just say mo amodi tari ni ase na de bia mo twa picture na fine ekosin but say de mo ananka mo hwe say bia anke beto mo lies so ne de we de afa mo kon na me hu say information about to about e binu create allegation bi na abese mo de rumor bi be frame na de but unim say ha de rumor de yen fa anya adwuma correct source and say me confirm news na me boss nti say na e kan say mauli gavo. Congratulations. You, what's here? Not to say no quarry. Shatabando. I'm richest billionaire in Africa. Wawari kama obeka na oche trade na meje say Shatabando say picture be ebe 2 na just say wow ba baby boy na nchekwa na hunso obere mo odon obi on ne wo hodo pe so hye ne nunyam ne say wo man ne de ne kama abofra hunso abofra kokon ho kama menim so se ne mama na so se ne papa owo man ne wie no Shatabando unim so ope so hye obi ye nunyam no ware ne say why na yerfo kama na sister picture se ebe 2 na hunso se so sa ne ho be ne wo ho na ne kunu no so ne obenunyamfo berema otene nchen oh where di ye fena say manfo hwe mu se mu hwe na mo kon ado aware na me se mu ka se D for that ben and we the man ka se D for that ben mo ka the same D for that ben say na mo kama other ones D for that ben mo tap in na where di be to je manfo say eh Shatabando muze muke kan say but love is love you know say love wins they binum ka say sister na dey skabi tarebre yi hu no ware na oh what day mo kasa too much obi na to ne do mo na so be ware na fe na mo pese mo connect ze mo say fear women say when I was a one pen obi pass like you know you get what I'm saying but in here can say Shatabando na years minimum say be friend she band. Yeah, mama, congratulations. Ayo, na watching dear rapper Kofi Jama I koso. Or din send me betudra ewo Twitter. Na Mankasa me who imagine and tiasi baby. I'm trying to read between the lines and get his points. I'm off my brain to say and someone betudra and keye like what dream one pasum. Also wish ma. Yes, slavery. Yen and no matter say what but free be far one what do one call slavery. Also wish ma slavery no enya great impact. Also na ke ye ne crap most en dem fa so abre na mo say slavery am yan nananum yi wu ya te senkofu disa ya de wo fem e de na wo ka say wo impact but de muntie na asem na kan tweet bi or de betu just say they were delete sa tweet but me person me kan say people will kill me for this, but our ancestors really knew what they were doing when they sold most Africans into slavery. There is a great impact on the world as we see today. I swear it wouldn't have had the likes of blues, R&B, rock and roll, rap music and hip hop music. Into a chemos as I know me inside journals here to say, a Jan and I'm slavery in this one and by one fan so wow. Also, wish a year to Fubi to say Michael Jackson, Kanye West, Virgil Abloh, Jay-Z, LeBron, Sanko Funakakai, one in us slavery and a beer who can not say slavery there we have to condemn it. She said 50 all the years and I say you can impact as slavery and now positive benewum and I say must say yeah na yenti Kofi Jama and when you say opinion public opinion be able to me a chair na but we dey amafu chema one fan one can ye kra na say in some no course na say na wo bashing na Kofi Jama kasa be delete post no wie no so pamocho wo say on there mfa ne bone nche one can ye nti sesem no kan ni na wo say wa twasan na wo twe dey yakọ bia ne ho ahyehye ne pan ka be ma ni fa ni anu say Ghana ni to your semi betuja or interview on a Halifax no din semi betuja no chimo so no de enkran for me am pen but on one kasa mu na no so mpewon so hwe mu kra wo ye lazy sebio ono no kanye me na because wo ye lazy na chese won san so mpedwuma na etobu ska omutumi spend ska wo eye yi ntama obi okoyi kwana fa won ho na chese ska wo be blow ntama no so ka wo ye mkra be hyew na so ne betuja na mafochem se we say Ghana women lazy or moon pedjuma na one can ye na te say wo ba hye na be hwe wo sim say na nka mo before from ponka wa wo fin kan wo yen kan na say wo pese wo be ka bibia fa yen ho na say wo pese wo ya ogun yen hu ni mase ebenu mu say no sem no kware no kai me de menti ase ni ntia wo ni fa ni ya adwe ebenu say wan kan ye na say me so wo bebo ne so bu na te say wo keke bi kire no ba ni fa ni e de release bi abeto no chebo so I am sorry say sem no kan no wan kan ye ntia ni dimwa oye ga community wo krom ha se ne kan fam wo krom ha nyina o se mo fa ne bone nchenti dedi sa sem no de akense no ka se obi pacha mo fa ne bone nchenti esra ma we de adwebrewa mo mansia kos baba pacha also mo onye sabi nti mo fa nchen why e pa mo chow manti hini ye bo afere se den sema betudwa ne se wa kan chinego wa ye nyakopon de na ye otiase no yedwuma wa ye Sumpa FM na ye September 17 ne betudwa se na je se NOK baby na was it se ne hu fa ne kakra na wode ne call hospital wa rush ne hospital na je se wa be ye nyakopon de se the industry ni se mo mo ne mo se ko social media ko pay tribute no was se ono de ye ka talk show host that se wa bo ne hu modern pa otiase adwuma wa bone de ese weni na nse okachin se de ya ka ne se busuafo ne adofo a te se na mo relate to martin ne ma munyina ya last na everybody go chop breakfast sanyum na ye burner boy de betuja ma fo chema we de any former girlfriend Steve London no boss sanyum ne man na te se ko fo chema ase Steph ase e woman na won ababeja be won ho ne ade hu cheda hu be bi esi binum chema wo daso do won ho but don de abetuja so no de osra mara bebre oni eye burner boy je be ze afini e kwani but na nkofo nim say nka weja long time de dada no sazo ka juja say also no de oni ni jai be sine on twin panada also no de ko relationship mo say odi ni hu nyina ewrem na just no aye ne se bia be kopia ware nya so oni do ye sankasa ba hu say last na one 7 breakfast say na burner boy ye nim say na ye ne photo mu bia de bia mo so no be say omo attack omo se de hu nsem no mu no kware but Steve and so the two just also no de time on in war honum they were good, you know, they had fun, they enjoyed their time, but say na mafuka say ni last no you abesuja I say job to no so no de say mo am na muti mo na betumi decide but ono de ochema also no say de so we ka so fa onyi ntwini bi sa so twempena on jendi but she's open. When kasa wa to na kuma se na me munya we was serving breakfast na munya broken heart na kasa o me ndo bi o debi also no there is still hope, but on fan to just say and no be call out so much now yen dey yen shende nim ai na what trade ama broni Nkomono de na bi wo ho ankasa eye Afia Schwarzenegger ne eye Lindo say ku an wo TikTok te say aye beja na me di mu nsem new release our industry mu ni ade eye star code ne black onumi me se manya bi eti na te say mu rate ya mu nse mu be rate na fa eye amake ababreso no so beja Oscar Magana mu se mu nye no kware ba me de me hwe ni mpa me de me keep save the date 5 years by now it's possible me de me je di pa cause ye boy ye homodin me kan dada ye boy ye homodin ga we just need some little push to make it. Now what we say in some of the entertainment news, celebrity news, beef, latest trends, fellas in them there the baby naba betuja. And me sanso me minimum you. Now what we hear ye woman ya me the minute of them. And same be because to be a dasene. Ye best sanso share ma share video, ma feedback na me woman na me can say me damase papa. Monko swana mon share. Sego me catch him say in community e wo ho ankasa amabroni makramo.
And welcome to BizTech on GhanaWeb TV. I am Ernestina Sewa Asante. Today's edition features a mobile application designed to collect data from business operators and predict consumer sentiment. This app also helps business owners to make more informed decisions to satisfy customers. My colleague, Maoli Aholumega, has more.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of BizTech on GhanaWeb TV. On this edition, I'll be speaking with a young man who's been able to develop a web application that allows business owners to know how their customers are feeling, amongst other things. Before I introduce my guest, I'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back from that break on BizTech. My guest is Kwesi Kofi, the Chief Executive Officer for DataWare. Kwesi, welcome to BizTech. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to see you again.
Yes.
Yes. So, I understand you have a web application that allows you to know how your customers are feeling about the product and services. What went into the idea of developing this web application, and what exactly is the whole application about?
Okay, so DataWare is a big data and AI firm. So our core mandate is to help companies understand their customers and their operations better. So in developing the platform, which we call Lucent, by the way.
Lucent, okay.
Yeah. So Lucent essentially means that anything that gives off light. So in developing the application, we're hoping that by customers using the platform, they'll be able to shine some light into their data, be it about their customers or about the business itself. So Lucent has 3 modules.
Okay.
So we have the customer analytics, the business intelligence, and then we have the risk 360.
Okay.
So the business intelligence, essentially what that does is that it helps customers or our customers get reports about how their business is performing. So I'll give an example. If you're a retail firm, how many products has been sold, how many new customers you have, how many returns you have. You can automate that process. A lot of businesses do that manually. So they'll have an Excel sheet, they will import maybe the data from some software somewhere, and they input it and then prepare management reports.
Okay.
So for any business, it might take them between a day or two to prepare those reports for management. The problem with that is that that is not instant, that's not real time. So the tool that we have developed called the Lucent BI, what that does is it plugs into all of these data sources and then gives a live dashboard.
Okay.
So that a manager sitting anywhere in a part of the world can know how the business is performing in real time. So that's for the BI. Now the customer analytics takes it a step further. So the BI part is the first part of data analytics, which is more about statistics, which is more about descriptive and reporting and things like that. Customer analytics leverages on machine learning or artificial intelligence. So what that does is that it enables you to understand your customers better, gives you deeper insights. So with features, with something like which customers are likely to leave. So as a business, the cost of acquiring a new customer is way higher, up to 5 times more than what you spend if you wanted to retain one. So it's always prudent to be able to predict which customers are likely to leave, so that you can have intervention programs to retain them, maybe offer them discounts or give them additional promotions or things like that to reactivate them. And a lot of companies are not leveraging on the data to be able to do this. I'll give you an example. Sometime about a couple of weeks ago, I saw an ad in the Daily Graphic, and this was a bank which was advertising to customers who had left their account dormant to come and then reactivate.
Okay.
But the bank has this information, so this is something that they should be able to tell ahead of time,
how many people,
and prevent that from happening. So it was, it was a big shock to me. But then again, it's a growing. A lot of companies are beginning to learn. Some of the advantages.
Okay.
Now with the Risk 360, which is the last part, what it does is it helps businesses identify risk elements. So if you're a financial service provider and you are giving out loans, you want to be able to predict who is likely to default. Now how the Lucent works is that it takes past data and we build AI models that we train the AI models with the past data, so it is aware of the environment of that particular business. So it's able to predict. So based on past behaviors of particular clients with particular traits, if you bring in a new customer with a similar trait, you can be able to predict that this customer is also likely to default or things like that. So essentially, that's what the Lucent platform is about.
So the Lucent platform, it's more, can I say, it's predicting customer behavior, right? So what was that key thing that you found out? You've been operating, the web app has been working for some time. What's the one key thing that you've noticed about the behaviors of the customers?
So, well, the thing is that for every business, customers behave differently. It depends on the kind of business, the kind of industry. For some businesses, it's very easy to lose a customer because there are a lot of alternatives. And so what we've always advised is that with these AI models that are available for use, businesses should be able to have data sets, large enough data sets to train these models, so that the model can predict more efficiently or more effectively, more accurately, based on past data. So behavior is essentially different. Yeah, when it comes to different customers. So a retail business will have customers behaving differently from maybe a telco or a financial service provider or things like that.
Kwesi, I've been learning quite a lot from you. I'll just take a quick break, we'll be right back. I've been speaking with Kwesi Kofi, the Chief Executive Officer for DataWare, and they've developed a web application that allows companies to predict customer sentiment about the services and products that they are offering. I'll take a quick break, we'll be right back. Welcome back from that break on BizTech. I've been speaking with Kwesi Kofi, the Chief Executive Officer of DataWare, and we've been talking about the web application that they have developed which is helping companies to predict customer sentiment about the products and services they are offering. Kwesi, I've been learning quite a lot from you. I want to come down to the type of businesses that are using this platform. You've been running for some time now. What are those companies looking out for?
Okay. So the key thing about the platform is that it relies on data.
Okay.
So for industries that do not generate a lot of data, they might struggle using the platform. So from our time in the industry, we've realized that a lot of the industries that benefit the most are companies in the financial services, companies in the retail business, companies in health and education. There are some use cases that they can rely on, but that that's a whole new conversation because of the stage at which the industry is at. Now, like I said, the Lucent platform relies on data. So these companies have to have, they have to have matured in terms of their IT architecture, because we're talking about digital data. Right. We have a partner called Think Data that we've teamed up with to help companies that do not have digital infrastructure to move from physical or paper assets to digital assets, so that they can transfer their information or data from the physical form to the digital form. And then we can do the analytics on that. So companies must begin to look into the future, because the future is data. Not even the future, data is already here.
It's already here. So we are living in it.
We are living in that age now. We are living the information age, Industry 4.0. So a lot of these companies need to begin to think about their data strategy, how they're going to leverage data to compete. What I've also realized is that for these medium-sized companies, this is the way that they can compete with the big boys, right? Understand your customers better, deliver personalization at scale, so that every individual customer of yours feels special, because you know exactly what they need and you can deliver that, instead of having a one-size-fits-all, right? So once you're able to deliver that experience to the customer, then you have become a better option, and you're able to compete with the big boys who have a lot of funding and can try other things. Medium to small-sized businesses cannot experiment. One experiment gone wrong can collapse the country. So data is a way that all of these businesses can compete. So we're wrapping up.
I want to come down quickly to artificial intelligence. I'm sure you'd have to deploy that some form of AI in the Lucent as well. How is artificial intelligence helping you use this app?
Right. So artificial intelligence has a lot of use cases. And artificial intelligence is an umbrella term that covers a lot of things. For now, the part of artificial intelligence that is gaining the most traction is machine learning. So what machine learning does essentially is pick past data, learn from that, and be able to predict future happenings. So typical applications of artificial intelligence are your virtual assistant, your Siri, your Google Assistant, and when you have the self-driving vehicles. So how these are built is that you take past data of driving experience. If you are going at this speed, it's a car maybe this distance ahead of you, when do you apply your brakes? So it's all about decision making. Yes.
All right. So Kwesi, we are wrapping up. I want to find out from you, why should up-and-coming businesses and already existing businesses use this web application? What are the benefits of using this application?
Okay. So you see, data is a very expensive endeavor if you want to go into that space. If you're a business and you want to begin to leverage your data, depending on how far you've gone, there's a lot of things that has to be done. When it comes to strategy, now beyond just having the software to be able to do this, there has to be a behavioral change of your team, right? We need to begin to move from making decisions based on intuition or gut feeling to making data-backed decisions. So that is a lifestyle change. So beyond just buying the software, there is the element of changing the behavior of your team in how they make decisions. Now, this has become very expensive for small and medium-sized business to do. to embark on data projects because there are a lot of licenses for software that you need to get.
Have to go through a lot of processes.
A lot of processes. What Lucent does, right, is a subscription-based model.
Okay.
So you pay on a monthly or annual or on a quarterly basis. The advantage with the Lucent platform is that it's a self-help tool.
Okay.
So very intuitive user interface. There are docs that helps you in how to build a model, how to deploy the model, how to do the prediction, and it's very easy to use.
Okay.
So any business can set up and begin to, you know, get deeper insights about their customers once they have the data sets available.
Okay. All right, Kwesi, thank you so much. I've been speaking with Kwesi Kofi, the Chief Executive Officer for DataAware, and we've been talking about a web application that is helping business owners to predict and know their customer sentiment about the product and services that they are offering. He's been my guest on this week's edition of BizTech. My name is Malia Holomeka. Many thanks for watching.
Thank you, Maulia Holumega, for that report. Up next is Biz Headlines. To our very first story, the World Bank Country Director for Ghana, Pierre Laporte, has noted that Ghana needs to urgently find solutions to its current problems. The country director said the depreciation CD and the increase in inflation puts the country at a high risk. He said if no urgent measures are taken, domestic debt structuring will be difficult for the country. He also explained that since banks depend on government bonds and securities, a further dip in the economy's capital adequacy will have grave effects on the country. The Sunyani Airport has witnessed its first commercial flight after 7 years of closure. This happened during the Transport Minister's commissioning of the first flight to start its operation in the Bono region. During the occasion, the Minister of Transport, Kweku Esiama, stated that those in the Bono region will support the aviation industry by helping the business of flight to continue working to serve the region. He said the second phase of the Sunyani Airport will soon commence, depending on how the people of Bono East and Ahafo patronize flights that use the airports. He therefore advised the aviation industry to work diligently to support and make sure people will love their hospitality. He urged industry players to also help in the reductions of commercial flight tickets fees to encourage more people in the region to board flights to other parts of the country. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has reiterated the impact of the Russia-Ukraine war on global economies, especially on African countries. The president holds that the war, which started in February this year, aggravated an already precarious situation for African economies that were starting all over to recover from the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. President Akufo-Addo said the war had direct impact on Africa, especially in the area of food supply, triggering importantly inflation. On the specific case of the Russian invasion, even though Moscow insists it was a military operation, President Akufo-Addo said, as we grappled with these economic challenges, Russia's invasion of Ukraine burst upon us, aggravating an already difficult situation. It is not just the dismay that we feel at seeing such deliberate devastation of cities and towns in Europe in the year 2022. We are feeling this war directly in our lives in Africa. The Ghana Statistical Service has said the economy recorded an expansion of 4.8% in the second quarter of 2022. This was higher than the growth rate of 3.4%, which was recorded in the first quarter of the year. The Ghana Statistical Service, in its latest data, attributed the country's manufacturing, crops and cocoa, mining and quarrying, information and communication, and education subsectors as the main drivers for growth. It added that the services sector, which is a key driver, recorded an expansion of 5.2%, which is more than the national average. This was, however, followed by agriculture, which recorded 4.6%, whilst the services sector recorded 4.4% growth rate. In addition to this, the GSS said some 9 subsectors within the services sector all experienced significant growth rates. In terms of subsectors that witnessed contraction, real estate and professional, administrative and support were the notable sectors. Also, some 3 subsectors within the agricultural industry or sector recorded an expansion during the period. These were the fishing and livestock, crop and cocoa. The data also showed the forestry and logging sectors recorded a contraction in their growth rate of -0.2%. The GSS data showed that services sector continued to be the largest sector of the Ghanaian economy, which recorded an expansion in the second quarter of 2022. The sector recorded a gross share of 45.8% of gross domestic product. A senior director at ratings agency Fitch, Mahin, has said Ghana faces a possible debt default. He explained that banks in Ghana have high dependence on government securities. Therefore, any debt distress the government faces will have dire effects on the sustainability of banks. According to Reuters, Mahin made the comments at a press briefing on September 21st. He also noted that in case of debt distress, the banking sector will not be the only affected sector. In August this year, ratings agency downgraded Ghana's creditworthiness status to junk. This has affected the country's ability to secure credit facilities from the global market. Inflation has skyrocketed to an all-time high of 33.9%. The cedi continues to depreciate against major trading currencies. Meanwhile, 3 Ghanaian banks have also been downgraded by Fitch. That's all for today. Thank you very much for joining us on today's edition of BizTech on GhanaWeb TV. BizTech airs every Friday on the same platform. I am Ernestina Sewa Asante. But before we go, do log on to www.ghanaweb.com for more stories. Do well to follow us on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at the Ghana Web. On YouTube, GhanaWeb TV. Once again, I am Ernestina Sewa Asante. Do have a lovely weekend.